Famous heists. Story of high-stakes robberies. The Great Train Robbery, a daring heist that captivated a nation. Britain in the early 1960s was a time of significant social and cultural change. The rise of organized crime and the decline of rail transport were just two of the many factors that contributed to the atmosphere of the time. It was against this backdrop that a daring heist was carried out that would go down in history as one of the most audacious and notorious crimes of the 20th century, the Great Train Robbery. On the night of August 8, 1963, a gang of 15 robbers led by Bruce Reynolds intercepted a Royal Mail train carrying £2.6 million in cash. The gang had meticulously planned the heist using inside information and careful reconnaissance to ensure that they could get away with the loot. The robbery was executed with precision, and the robbers made their escape without a hitch. The aftermath of the Great Train Robbery was just as dramatic as the heist itself. Most of the robbers were caught within a few months thanks to a tip-off from an informer. Some of them escaped from prison or fled abroad, and only £400,000 of the stolen money was ever recovered. The sentences handed down to the robbers were harsh, with some of them receiving 30-year prison terms. The cultural impact and legacy of the Great Train Robbery cannot be overstated. The heist inspired numerous books, films, songs, and TV shows, cementing its place in popular culture. The public debate around crime and justice was sparked by the heist, and it led to the significant reforms in security and policing. The Great Train Robbery also highlighted the deep-seated societal issues that contributed to the rise of organized crime in Britain and the need for action to address these issues. The Great Train Robbery was a daring heist that captivated a nation and continues to fascinate people around the world. The legacy of the heist is a reminder of the complex societal issues that contribute to crime and the need for ongoing efforts to address them. The question remains, what can we learn from the Great Train Robbery to prevent similar crimes from happening in the future? Sit back, because we are now discussing famous high-stakes heists in history. Before that, hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. The Antwerp Diamond Heist, a bold crime that shook the diamond trade. Antwerp, Belgium in the early 2000s was a bustling economic hub, with the city's diamond district playing a vital role in the global diamond trade.
And make off with $50 million of diamonds in 5 minutes? How did they do it, and who are they? ABC's Dan Harris tonight on The Big Job.
It was against this backdrop that one of the most audacious diamond heists in history took place, shaking the diamond trade to its core. The Antwerp Diamond Heist was planned and executed by a gang of 4 thieves led by Leonardo Notarbartolo. The gang rented an office in the Diamond Center, posing as diamond merchants and infiltrating the vault. They stole at least $100 million worth of diamonds, gold, and jewelry in what became known as the heist of the century. Notarbartolo and his accomplices were eventually caught and sentenced, with Notarbartolo being arrested after his DNA was found on a half-eaten sandwich near the crime scene. He confessed to his role in the heist, but claimed he was hired by a mysterious diamond dealer. Some of the accomplices were released on appeal, and none of the loot was ever recovered. The Antwerp Diamond Heist has sparked mystery and intrigue, with questions raised about the security and transparency of the diamond industry. The heist has spawned various theories and speculations about the mastermind and the motive behind this crime. The diamond industry has been forced to reassess its security protocols, and the heist serves as a warning to the industry that even the most secure vaults and safes can be breached. The Antwerp Diamond Heist was a bold and audacious crime that shook the diamond trade to its core. The heist's legacy is a reminder that even the most secure industries can be vulnerable to crime, and the importance of constant vigilance in preventing such incidents. The mystery and intrigue surrounding the heist also highlights the public's fascination with crime and the enduring appeal of unsolved mysteries. The Banco Central Burglary, an audacious heist that exposed Brazil's banking system. Fortaleza, Brazil in 2005 was a city plagued by political and economic instability, with corruption rampant in its banking system. Against this backdrop, a group of 25 robbers led by Luis Fernando Robiero carried out one of the most audacious bank robberies in history, the Banco Central Burglary. The gang spent months planning and executing the heist, digging a 256-foot tunnel from a rented house to the Banco Central vault. They disabled the alarms and sensors and stole 3.5 tons of 50 real notes worth $70 million, equivalent to $95 million today. The heist was a triumph of engineering and planning, and its audacity stunned the nation. However, the robbers were eventually caught and sentenced. Robbery was kidnapped and killed by another criminal group who wanted a share of the money, and some of his associates were also murdered or arrested. Only $8 million of the stolen money was ever recovered, leaving the vast majority of the loot unaccounted for. The Banco central burglary exposed the loopholes and weaknesses in Brazil's banking system. The heist exploited the flaws in the country's cash circulation system, which allowed large sums of money to be withdrawn and used without adequate tracking or oversight. The heist led to significant reforms in Brazil's banking industry and highlighted the need for greater transparency and accountability in the financial sector. The Banco central burglary was a complex and audacious heist that exposed the weaknesses in Brazil's banking system. The heist served as a warning of the risks of corruption and instability in financial systems and the importance of strong regulatory oversight. The legacy of the heist will continue to fascinate and intrigue people around the world as we continue to grapple with the challenges of preventing large-scale financial crimes. The Hatton Garden Safe Deposit Burglary. London in 2015 was a city brimming with cultural and economic activity, with the Hatton Garden area serving as one of the world's most prominent jewelry quarters. It was against this backdrop that a group of 7 elderly men, led by Brian Reeder, carried out one of the most audacious heists in English legal history, the Hatton Garden Safe Deposit Burglary. The gang spent months planning and executing the heist, drilling through a concrete wall into the basement vault of Hatton Garden Safe Deposit Limited. They disabled the CCTV cameras and alarms and stole up to 200 million pounds worth of cash, jewels, and precious metals. The heist was executed with precision and was a testament to the gang's skill and expertise. The robbers were eventually caught and sentenced, identified by police through surveillance footage, phone records, and forensic evidence. They pleaded guilty or were convicted at trial, and prison sentences ranged from 18 months to 7 years. Only £4 million of the stolen money was ever recovered. The Hatton Garden Safe Deposit Burglary captured the public's imagination, with the media dubbing it the largest burglary in English legal history. The heist attracted sympathy for the elderly robbers, who were seen as charming rogues rather than hardened criminals. The heist inspired several books, films, and TV shows, cementing its place in popular culture. The Hatton Garden Safe Deposit Burglary was a daring heist that captivated a nation and continues to fascinate people around the world. The legacy of the heist is a reminder of the vulnerability and secrecy of the safe deposit industry and the need for constant vigilance in preventing such crimes. The heist fascination and controversy highlight society's enduring fascination with crime and the appeal of unsolved mysteries. The Ferdinand Marcos Heist, elaborate schemes of a corrupt regime. The Philippines in the 1960s through the 1980s was a country ruled by the authoritarian regime of Ferdinand Marcos and his wife Imelda. Marcos and his cronies amassed a fortune of between $5 billion and $10 billion through government loans, bribes, embezzlement, taking over private companies, and outright theft. The scale of their illicit wealth is mind-boggling, and the methods they used to conceal and launder it were elaborate and sophisticated. Marcos and his associates used foreign bank accounts, shell companies, real estate, art, jewelry, and gold to hide and transfer their ill-gotten wealth. They also used their political power to silence critics, manipulate the legal system, and intimidate opponents. However, their reign of terror came to an end when Marcos was ousted by a popular uprising in 1986 and fled to Hawaii with his family. Despite decades of pursuit and legal efforts to recover the loot, the heist remains unresolved. Only about $4 billion has been recovered so far, and most of the loot is still unaccounted for or contested by different parties. Marcos's heirs continue to deny any wrongdoing and claim their wealth is legitimate. The challenges of recovering the loot are manifold, including legal obstacles, corruption, and the complexity of tracing and proving the ownership of the assets. The Ferdinand Marcos heist is a reminder of the dangers of political corruption and the challenges of holding the powerful accountable. It raises important questions about the ethics of wealth accumulation and distribution, the role of the law in preventing and punishing such crimes, and the moral obligations of leaders and citizens in society. The Ferdinand Marcos heist is an epic tale of political corruption and wealth accumulation that continues to captivate and intrigue people around the world. The unresolved nature of the heist and the challenges of recovering the loot highlight the complexities and moral dilemmas of investigating and persecuting such crimes. The legacy of the heist will continue to be felt for generations as we grapple with the ethical and legal implications of political corruption and the pursuit of justice. The heists we have discussed spanned different time periods and locations, but they all shared a common theme: the daring and audacious theft of large sums of money, jewels, or precious metals. While some of the heists were successful and the perpetrators escaped with their loot, others were caught and faced the consequences of their crimes. The fascination with heists is deeply ingrained in human curiosity and imagination. The intricacies of planning and execution, the allure of fast and easy money, and the thrill of outsmarting the system all contribute to the appeal of these crimes. However, the psychological and moral implications of heists cannot be ignored. They have significant impacts on the victims, the perpetrators, and the wider society. From an ethical and legal standpoint, heists are inherently wrong, and those who commit such crimes should be held accountable for their actions. The impact on victims can be severe, both in terms of financial loss and emotional trauma. For the perpetrators, the consequences can range from a prison sentence to lifelong regret and shame. The legacy of these heists is complex, and their impact can be felt for years, even decades after the crime. They raise important questions about the ethics of wealth distribution, the role of law enforcement in preventing and solving crimes, and the moral obligations of individuals in society. So this was it, guys. That was all about today's video. We hope you liked the video, and don't forget to tell us in the comments what you think. What was the most daring heist? If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to our channel for more such content. See you in the next video.